Jacob Gerken and Joel Contreras are checked in. Three different singlets for the Sterling Tigers here in this tournament. And Contreras wearing the gray singlet with the orange S on the right hip. So they're checked in, and they'll be underway here in just a second. Joel Contreras, 15-2 as a freshman. He's pinned his two opponents to get here. And Gerken, a 24-7 junior, won his first match by a technical fall, 17-0, and then he got a pin over Matt Combs from Mountain View in 3 minutes, 51 seconds. Not sure why we haven't started. The official actually sent the two wrestlers off to their coaches. The official put down a bottle of water, and maybe he'll be ready in a second. I think we have an overtime match going on the other mat, and he may be waiting for that one to conclude. 30 seconds left in that overtime match. That's a Discovery Canyon and Longmont match. Ivan Wolf from Longmont and Bryce Ober from Discovery Canyon. Looks like the Discovery Canyon wrestler just got the win in overtime. Tough loss for the hometown Longmont wrestler. Big crowd here traveling up from Colorado Springs to watch Discovery Canyon wrestle. Ranked top in the state. So we've got our Sterling 14 match here in just... We'll see what they're doing on the updates. Gerken and Contreras just stand and wait. They've been in their singlets, and they've been waiting to wrestle for several minutes here. Apparently we're waiting for that other match to finish up. Now they've been announced. And now they can officially wrestle. Actually, they're going to push them over and make them wrestle on mat 1. So they'll wander over to the other mat. Not sure. I guess they're not wanting to get ahead on each mat, so they're wanting, with two mats here, they're wanting to keep both semifinals on at the same time, not wanting one mat to get ahead of the other. But Gerken is ready to wrestle. He gets the red leg band on, and he steps out. Now Contreras checked in. And we're finally ready to wrestle this championship semifinal match. In Contreras, just a freshman, but 15-2 this season. Gerken 4-7. We are underway. Gerken with a shot. He's got a hold of a single leg. Trying to drive it over. And walking up the body slowly there, Gerken gets his 2 points. And Jacob Gerken drives Contreras out of bounds. That's a quick takedown. So the first 2 points of the match go to Gerken. Gerken will ride from the right side. Looking for half Nelson on the left side. Now comes back around to the right side. Thought he had an arm to bar up. Now loses that. This is a 132-pound championship semifinal match here in Class 4A. Here's Contreras trying to make his way up onto his feet. But Gerken has a hold of the ankle, picking that ankle way up high, hanging on the single leg position, trying to get him tripped back down. Gerken still latched onto the ankle. A caution for stalling. A caution against Gerken as he had that ankle lifted high. He was in the single leg position. So Gerken will continue to ride, jumps on from the right side. Drags Contreras down to a hip, and now Contreras making his way up briefly, and then flat back down to his stomach. There's a tilt, and Gerken, a 1 count wave. Here's a couple of counts. Gerken is going to get some back points against Contreras. Going to get all 3 back points out of this, it looks like. There's his back points awarded. So Fort Morgan's Jacob Gerken goes up by a score of 5-0 over Sterling's Joel Contreras. Again, at the conclusion of this match, we'll check in and get an update from John Beltran of what's happening in Class 2A at that regional tournament at Northeastern Junior College. Gerken has the right arm barred up. See if he can leverage it, walk around the head. Trying to step around to the outside. Here he comes around the head. But there's only 5 seconds left in the period. He's not going to be able to get any back points out of it. The Fort Morgan junior leading the Sterling freshman 5-zip at the end of the first period. Contreras to first. And Gerken wants to work from the bottom of the referee's position. Contreras jumps on. Here's Jacob Gerken onto his feet. Runs out of bounds. Took only 5 seconds off the clock. He'll come back to the center and try it again. This time, Contreras working from the right side. Here's Gerken making his way up onto his feet. They'll hit the side. We're going to get a locked hands call. Yep, there is a locked hands call against Contreras. That'll give a point to Jacob Gerken. So Gerken takes the lead 6-0 after the penalty point for locked hands. Gerken with a sit out now makes his way onto his feet. Big tight waist grip by Joel Contreras to hang on. And they'll slip out of bounds with 1:24 to go in the second period. Gerken trying to make his way to his feet. Contreras rides from the right side. The Sterling freshman latching onto a wrist. Now here's Gerken up onto his feet. Contreras hanging on. And they'll go out of bounds again. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go in the second period. And looks like we got some blood here. Fort Morgan's Justin Wood going to be wrestling over in the other gym here in just a moment. While they get the blood cleaned up, we can tell you HR Tire Company in Sterling congratulations. And they carry a complete line of Bridgestone, Cooper tires, and Firestone tires for passenger trucks, light trucks, farm, and RVs. Call 522-4829 for HR Tire Company. That's 522-4829. And the Bank of Colorado congratulates all the area wrestlers. Bank of Colorado, family-owned and community-focused. That's the way banking should be. Visit them at bankofcolorado.com. And when you're looking for your next vehicle, stop in at Wolf Auto Center in Sterling and Fort Morgan. Still getting the blood cleaned up on Contreras. Finally have him taken care of. So we have 1 minute and 6 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan's Jacob Gerken. He leads. Joel Contreras of the Sterling Tigers. Winner of this match will move on to the championship tonight. Contreras jumps on a little early. They'll reset, and we're finally back underway. Gerken to his feet. Contreras dumps him back down. Joel Contreras riding from the left side, working a bull drive around that left arm. Gerken gets dragged out of bounds once again, so 50 seconds left in the second period. Gerken races back to the center. He's ready to go. Contreras slowly walks back and will jump on to ride. Nice switch off the whistle by Jacob Gerken, and he gets it for 2. So Gerken goes up 8-0 over the Sterling freshman. Now here's a big half Nelson by Jacob Gerken. He's got it reinforced, and all of a sudden, Contreras is on his back. Gerken trying to settle. Contreras in big trouble, trying to keep a right shoulder off the mat. 24 seconds left. There's the pin. 3 minutes and 36 seconds. The pin for Jacob Gerken. So the Mustangs have their first wrestler in the championship match tonight.